Get peace of mind with the RV Advisor's extended warranty for as low as $14 per month. Visit thervadvisor.com today.
Little birdie told me I'd need RV advice.
Get information straight from the horse's mouth.
Little birdie told me I'd need RV advice.
It's Just Ask GiGi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. Now here's Gigi and Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask GiGi. My name is Tom Alexander, and of course, as always, there she is.
Hi.
I am joined by the one and only Gigi Stetler, the Unstoppable. And
Yes.
how you doing there, Unstoppable?
I'm grand, very grand. Are you grand?
I'm grand.
It's a new day. We have a new president. We have
do.
a new day. We have a new.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really good, and it's nothing really to, we'll keep politics out of it, but
Yeah.
just for women, I don't know why, but I just feel like we got power back. Like I said, I'm keeping politics out of it, but just in my own
Well,
perspective.
just from an optic standpoint, right? It's you've
As
got
a
a
woman.
female vice president, so that's
As a woman,
yeah.
as a woman, which I consider myself as always, the minority, the single white female is kind of like becoming the minority, and if not always. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm keeping politics out of it, but just the inspiration of like feeling like we broke a glass ceiling today.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I feel-
It's historic.
I feel great. I just feel
historic
great.
thing.
And like I said, it's not a political statement. It is just. It's just a powerful statement.
Yeah, no, it
feel
is.
great.
It is. We can do great things here in the United States, and it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. It's all about
Doesn't matter.
about the USA, right? Moving forward
Yes.
and breaking those glass ceilings.
Yes.
So we do
So
keep
anyway,
politics out of it, because we don't want to. We don't want to delve into that. This show is not about that. So, but I'm glad you're feeling good, and I'm sure a lot of other people are too. So we move on, and we've got some. Well, obviously we've got questions for you, but we'll save that for the second segment. I know that there's some interesting information you have on GPS, Gigi's personal service or services,
yes.
and what's going on?
Well, I'm happy to say that I've been actually quite busy in the last, 5, 6, 7 days.
Mhm.
And I've been thanked and appreciated and makes me feel great. Absolutely great. That people are learning things and, getting education, which is what we're all about. And I think that, the word is getting out in both directions. I mean, people, have been listening to our show, and, I have pounded in their heads to let me read your contract first,
Yeah.
or at least telling them what to look for. And they're actually calling me before they sign a contract and, and give deposits, which is amazing. It's absolutely makes me feel great. And the buyers that are, ready to buy these vehicles, like they're going in educated. So they're going to the dealership and they're educated, and they're saying, what's that? What's this in the contract? And, oh, I said the unit's not sealed. Here it is on my owner's, in the owner's manual. It's supposed to be sealed in 90 days. Could you please do that for me? Those kind of things that were never happening before.
Yeah.
And, I had a great call with a family the last Thursday, I want to say, Thursday or Friday. And they had been negotiating back and forth with the dealer. Then they called me and the dealer, everything was kind of, all the stars were aligning, and I'm not sure how I keep them straight, but now that I have my lovely Sabrina, she's going to have to keep all my files straight, because sometimes I mix up my Greg and my Steve and this and that, because,
Right.
of whatever units, but and we had like 4 or 5 people buying Grand Designs and all hiring me. So
Yeah.
I'm getting, and almost the same model. So I'm kind of trying to I'm sort of mixing up the names and the situations. But anyway, I just remember this particular family, and we had talked last week, and then today he had shot me an email and this morning and said that, things were going well. They looked at the RV on Saturday and everything looks great. And the dealer's doing everything that they had asked to do, seal it and all these things. And then I remember, wait, he's the one that had a problem. There was some funky language in paragraph 13 on the back side in the lower print, in low print. So I remember, and I wrote him back and I said, wait, what about paragraph 13? And because it needed to be removed. And so he wrote me back and he said the dealer removed it and initialed it. So, oh my God, I was so enlightened because, I don't know how I remembered him in paragraph 13, but I did. But anyway, I mean, I have the notes in customers' files and I have copies of the buyer's order, but just the fact that, I told him you can't sign it with that in that contract,
Right.
and the dealer took it out. So
Yeah.
that's
And
great. So
yeah, that's it.
and a dealer that's willing to the paragraph doesn't make sense. You can't you can't make a customer sign a contract that you've inspected the RV and you've accepted it in its current conditions when you haven't done a walkthrough yet. So you haven't inspected it. All you've done is give them a deposit.
Yeah.
Which means it's just that you're giving you the right to buy it, not that you've inspected it. So anyway, so it should not be in a contract. You should not sign a contract that says that until you're actually ready to drive off the lot, until you've accepted it. And even there are times if there's issues with it, some dealers call it we owe, which they put in writing that they're going to fix this and they got to fix that. They got to order a new blind or this or that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a contradicting paragraph if it tells you that you've inspected it and accepted it, and then they give you a WIO. So
yeah, it's interesting because you've reviewed so many contracts and the fine print is, as they would once said. I guess maybe they still say it, but it's legalese, a lot of it, and you probably have seen and read more of these than lawyers, than a lot of lawyers have. And you probably catch things that a lot of lawyers may not catch, only because you're just so used to seeing this language all the time and knowing what to look for and knowing, really being on the side of the buyer. It's a big deal. I mean, it's advice that's, greatly needed.
I mean, I think that if a lawyer read that contract, well, number one, they probably wouldn't even realize that you didn't inspect it, it and I'm not going to say to a layman person, you wouldn't think that, but you wouldn't, like I said, a lot of the things that if it's not your own language, like it's some of the terminology that's used in the contracts or their RV language, or, and the whole warranty and as is, and, the exclusions, but most people don't even know that there's a back page. So when I ask for a copy of the contract, 99.9% of the time they send me the first page. And then, and the dealer, if they're doing it by email, the dealer only sends them the first page. Even though on the front of the first page, in letters in bold, it says you have read the entire agreement, including the back page. How does the customer never ask to see the back page?
Right. Yeah, that's you'd want to see the whole thing, folks. It's
it's a lot.
You don't watch half a movie.
I think last week I showed you all the samples of. I mean, it's a lot to read, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. So it doesn't take me that long to read a contract because I know the language that I don't want in there. So. But anyway, on a good note, like I said, it's been great. Like every single one of my new GPS calls, have built relationships with the dealers. The dealers know that they're members of the RV Advisor.
Mm-hmm.
So I want them more afraid of me. Remember our show last week, which I was out in the field and I was showing the water damage and this and that.
Yeah.
So it was really funny because we sent that video to the dealer, to Campers Inn, and to Keystone. and we sent the video. And so Keystone is making arrangements to pick the camper up from my place and take it back to the factory and rebuild it.
Hmm.
But it was just, it was, I don't know if that was me, if another dealer found something that I missed, you know, I would be embarrassed.
Right.
Like some of the things that we caught in the first 10 minutes of me looking at it, like no stoppers on the cables for the slides, just things like that. And doing a simple water test by
Right.
putting the hose on the roof and standing there inside and watching the water come in. Hello, that does not take very long. And, you know, I think that, you know, the service department of Campers Inn completely failed this customer.
Yeah.
So now it's going back to Keystone and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well,
You know,
we'll see
hopefully
where,
they'll give him a new camper.
right. Well, we'll see where that all goes.
Yeah.
We've got some questions for you, Gigi, and we're going to do that on the other side of this break. She's Gigi Settler. I'm Tom Alexander. This is Just Ask Gigi. Back in just a moment.
See ya. The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of the RV owners. We'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality control is in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org.
We are back on Just Ask Gigi along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. A couple questions for you, Gigi. These come, well, the first one is from Dennis, and he asks about KOA. And is the KOA 10% discount good for any campsite or just a select few, certain ones?
Oh, it's any KOA around the United States. If you go through as a member, if you go through and you print off the coupons, and it will come up when you print the coupon, it'll say good for one visit. So it's one visit per trip. So let's say you go for 3 days, that's your trip. You could print another one. Let's say you're going to go to another place, 2, 3, 4 days from now, you go to a different campground. You can print another coupon off.
I see.
So you can't just keep printing out the 10% and pay per day. It doesn't work like that.
I got you. Okay, so one per trip, but they're
One per trip, yeah.
They're good for all.
I think it's what you get 10% off of a 3-day stay. I think a minimum 3-day stay.
Excellent. Okay, and we have one more question. This one's from Susan, and this is an insurance question, insurance difference, I guess you could say. Actual cash value, that's ACV, versus replacement cost.
Great question, and very important question. When, in fact, everybody should pull out their insurance policies to see what it says, and I bet you 99% of you, your policy says ACV. May want to call your agent and have it changed to replacement or stated value or agreed value. The difference is ACV means actual cash value. If you had a total loss, whatever the book value is all you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
If you have stated value, so let's say you buy something for $160,000, you buy a brand new motorhome. 2 years from now, you have a total loss. They're going to look at the book value if you do ACV, and it could be 120, 118, and you might owe 140 on it, so you're upside down. But if you do stated value and you insure it for the 159 or 160,000, you get 160,000 in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. So look for that word stated value or agreed value or replacement cost. Those are the 3 words you want to have in your policy, never ACV.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Dennis, for your questions. And if you have a question for Gigi on Just Ask Gigi, just send an email to info@thervadvisor.com. info@thervadvisor.com, and just put in the subject line, Just Ask Gigi. That's all you got to do. And then ask away, and we'll get your question answered. One more thing to tell you about on the other side of this break. We'll be back right after these words. The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org. Wrapping things up on Just Ask GiGi, and of course with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander, and of course want to remind you, anything that very important for your registration. Go over to the rvaca.org, rvaca.org, and you can learn how you can just learn a whole bunch, because that's going to be your voice in Washington, and. A lot of things changing in Washington this week, right? So let's see what happens. It's good that the dealers have their people and the manufacturers have their people, but now you, the consumer, the RV enthusiast, will have a voice, hopefully sooner than later, with the rvaca.org, rvaca.org. Gigi, I do have one thing to mention, and it's my other life, my second life, which is
you're just itching. Why don't you play us a tune?
Steeped deeply in music. Well, I'll just tell you, we'll through the magic of AB's brilliant editing, we'll show you the album cover, and we'll play a couple seconds of the music. But my first solo piano album came out 20 years ago this month. In fact, on January 22nd. So that would be, today, this is Thursday, so tomorrow is the 22nd. Guess what? The album re-releases, the 20th anniversary edition of the album. It's called What's Ahead. And that picture on the cover is my son when he was about 2 years old, looking out in the ocean. And so that, I actually got quite a response to that album when it first came out, and NPR did a big feature on it on Father's Day of that year. It was very exciting. But it's 20 years later, so people said, can I still get it? No, it's out of print, but guess what? It's available again.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's coming out. Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, you name it. All those cool places wherever you get digital music.
You're going to be too famous for me.
So say again?
You're going to be too famous for us.
No. This is just, it's a labor of love. I love doing it. But I also love doing this right here with you every Thursday. And of course the podcast, and just being a part of the RVA family. It's always a lot of fun. So, and listen, whatever fame comes along with these, with these albums, I'll just dump it right back into the podcast here, and we all share.
Yes, we share and share alike.
All right, Gigi. Well, thanks for letting me share that news, and we will see you again next time on Just Ask Gigi.
Awesome.
For Gigi Stetler, Tom Alexander saying so long. Thanks for listening, watching. Bye-bye.